It's probably time for the whole coaching staff to change.
And I don't even care about that.
But Dylan Larkin, leave him alone. Last warning.
I can't do anything to protect the kid on the ice. I will crack a skull off the ice in 2 seconds.
Did Stevie ever score 50 when he won a cup? No, bruh.
D-Mac, look, I was just going to kind of let it go, but, you know, that's a big bat you have there. D-Mac, you said
I'm
it.
serious.
You are serious about it. And look, the Red Wings yesterday, it was ugly on Easter. It was flat out ugly. Guys from Detroit City FC were in the building, as a matter of fact. But even they couldn't help the Wings. They lost 6-1. They were never in this game. It was never really a contest. There were social media pictures sent out. You know, the Jeff Blashill comments were out there again. The guys are tuning him out. All that kind of stuff. The Fire Blashill chants were going. And it even got to the point, D-Mac, where, and you addressed this on Twitter today, Dylan Larkin.
I'll stand for a lot of things.
Dylan Larkin even taking some heat as well.
Not a friggin' chance. And seriously, I brought the belt out. Anybody wants to come, wobblehead, and break it, I don't care. Serious as a heart attack. And for all you young kids out there, talk to your parents or your grandparents or whatever, because this is the same garbage talk as to my first couple of years when, Steve Yzerman's going to get traded to Ottawa. How would that have worked out for you? Right? There's one issue right here, and we can all agree, right? The coach is going to be changed. I would be absolutely super duper mortified, surprised as much as anybody else if the decision wasn't made by the draft. But that's up to #Wiser plan. As far as what I told you this year, it's the individual progress. Now, the fact is what you saw in Dylan Larkin, I will speak to him, right, is taking that C, understanding and finding out himself as his own player, right? The commitment as being one guy. Now, what he has to learn even more so as these younger guys grow and as these younger guys come in with what we have down the hopper, he's 100% the only guy for the job. The kid that cares to whatever else, it's give him a chance. This is his opportunity right now, not only to develop as a player, which he's come on the ice as a point-of-game player, but off the ice on how to lead. And it's a lead, by example and get everybody to buy in. Team defense, shots on goal, right? That's the biggest thing. Defense in our end and stuff like that. That's the biggest glowing area. You're giving up 40, 50 shots a game. Doesn't matter who you have in net. What I'm trying to say is drop the Larkin garbage, especially around, because I will not tolerate it because you're talking out your rear end. That's number 77 of the issues you have right now. Let's get them in order. Let's line them up. But you give D-Boss a break because he's done everything, if not more, of what you'd expect. You've been the harshest. 2 guys this year that you wanted expectations.
Larkin and Zadina.
And Larkin. So
I told you before the show, D-Mac, point-of-game guy, man. I've got nothing to say. And look.
And I don't even care about that. Could care about that, even though that's part of development as the captain and showing different stuff, because he was always going to get there with me. It's going through this adversity, and how is he going to take this on his back? Because this doesn't sit well with him either. It doesn't sit well with anybody in the organization. So you want to see, it's the same thing as what we went through with Steve Yzerman in 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 before we won. You're going through the same thing. History repeats itself. But I will not stand by, right? I can't do anything to protect the kid on the ice. I will crack a skull off the ice in 2 seconds. My boy Jericho carries around Floyd. It's aluminum bat. I'm old school. I got a wood one. It hurts even more. Now I'm going to step down a little bit and just say, if you're frustrated by your captain, please don't be. Please put that to the side and put your concern just as a buffer. Let's worry about some of the other things first, because that is not an issue. or it shouldn't be. And I can't tolerate stupidity like that. And I won't. So, I mean, come on in. I'm here 10 to 1.
Another 45 minutes or so.
Come on, guys. And you know what? The fans are allowed. I have no problem with the Fire Blashill chance. I have no problem with the way they feel about him because he hasn't gotten the job done. And it is time for a change. It's probably time for the whole coaching staff to change. Right? The Alex Tanguay project of bringing him in for the power play and stuff, penalty killing, didn't work.
Remember at the beginning of the year, though?
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
Alex
so
Tanguay it was
at
it.
The end
Everything
of the year,
was
this
changed.
is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the year, probably in May when it's a downtime, we're going to go through, and I'll give you my grades on each guy through this year on the team. Now, here's the last point. The team feels it just like we all feel it. Right? There's change to be made, and this is it. But this is the time for it to happen, guys. Not next year, not in 2 years or whatever like that. This is the time because it's still a 3-4 year project.
What about this, D-Mac? Gromit0237 told you it was going to boil over. Should have fired him last month. Now it's poisoned not only the locker room but the fans as well.
But it's not, or else he would have been gone. If it was poison and if it wasn't moving forward, because here's the one thing: you ever do something with your kids or teaching them is that you could give them the easy way out, right? But you don't, right? Stevie ain't giving the easy way out. Suck it up. You all figure it out together. You got yourself in this spot. You know, there's no flowers, no candy, no whatever like this. Forget this. And I say this because in Steve Yzerman's mind, Jeff Blashill being there doesn't set them back, set the young guys back or whatever. I mentioned this before. He would have been fired if they were starting to be a negative. This negative is motivation moving forward for the guys that'll be here. But what you learned this year is there's probably more guys not going to be here that you thought than will be. But Dylan Larkin, leave him alone. Last warning. But, I mean,
I got that.
I'm not a man of my word.
Tammy.
So
What's that?
I said I got that picture. I pulled it.
and
off
it just
Tammy's
shows
yeah.
you. So this is it. And these are the times where you got to go back to. And if you're watching this at home, the dejection. And I actually blew this picture up and looked at everybody. And it's one of those things that we've all been there, right? But it's the defeat in this picture, which the one day will bring the joy of everybody coming off the bench celebrating the Stanley Cup. So don't throw that picture out, Tammy. That's going to be very poignant in the journey.
Okay, so what about this then, D-Mac? Doughboy Steve says Stevie was a 50-goal, 100-point guy. Larkin is not.
Stevie wasn't a 50, 100-point guy when he win. He's a point-a-game guy. You guys are idiots. He was the third best player on the Dead Wings team, right? To elevate, he's got to be an all-around player. You don't need Dylan Larkin. You need Dylan Larkin to be the number 2 centerman on your team, right? Scoring a point a game. That's Steve Yzerman. That's leadership. That's winning, right? You want the 50-goal guy. That's your Verona. That's your Raymond. That's not winning, Joik. Yeah, exactly. Like, that is just idiocracy. Did Stevie ever score 50 when he won a cup? No, bruh.
Okay. Wish it was time for the break, but it's not. All right, the away fan says...
Did I get my point across there? That's all I'm saying. Get it right. Get it twisted, right? What do you have here? You have 6 pieces, probably moving forward, right? The biggest thing, you know who I'm super stoked at is forget about Larkin, is that you know who's coming into his own the second half of the season when everything's falling apart? Michael Rasmussen, right? The big guy takes a little bit longer to develop, hence of a Keith Primo-esque guy. So I can go through and tell you different things. It's just, yes, it's frustrating, but it's really frustrating when you don't. You got it right with Blashill. You got it right with the defense. You got it right. You know, I'll even give you let the questions be up in the air with the goaltending. That's fine to me. Your power play sucks. Your PK sucks, right? You give away 4 goals in a game 12 times. Remember the stat I gave you last week about 3 third period goals? 3 of them over like 15 times. I think it was 13 or 14 times, right? They've given up 4 goals in a period 12 times.
Ooh.
That's not one player, Neil. right? That's a team issue, and that's more of more of the structure, more of the message. So I'm sitting here right now, I expect, a whole bunch of changes to be made. But again, it's #WiserPlay.